How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here to give you your daily stimulus check and unemployment benefits updates and latest information. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube, which is what I try to provide here on this channel.
Let's quickly talk about where we currently stand, all the latest updates on a $2,000 fourth stimulus check, specifically focused on the low income and fixed income beneficiaries, just like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So if you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, over the last week or so, we've seen multiple proposals coming out talking about direct checks, payments to the low income, vouchers, all kinds of things that are being introduced. Actually, one quick side note, if you're in the state of California, your state is going to be introducing a $400 stimulus check today. So more details on that in a separate video. But my point is, yet again, another new proposal talking about stimulus checks for the low income. So I'll give you all the details on that $400 check out of the state of California in a separate video. But I do want to talk about a $2,000 broad stimulus check across the entire country, not just specified to one specific state. I want to focus on that in this video. So let me tell you all the latest details and where we currently stand with all of this as of right now. So, one quick side note, let me actually tell you the latest details on that $2,000 fourth stimulus check petition. This is something that I like to check in on every couple of weeks here, just to kind of see what's going on with it, what is the trend on this thing, is it still getting signatures on it, and what's going on. So let me just briefly give you an update on this one. So this is that petition that's out there right now on change.org. I think a lot of you are probably familiar with it by now. But this petition now has just under 3,040,000 signatures. So it actually reached 3 million signatures like what? Maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, maybe. And now we're up another 40,000 signatures already. So people are still signing this thing every single day. A lot of people are still signing this petition. So it makes me believe that, okay, if there's this many people still signing the petition now, that, yeah, obviously we need additional relief right now. And there's people out there that are looking for ways that we can get additional relief right now, and how can we get out to Congress and actually push them or encourage them to do anything to issue a fourth stimulus check, and again, the infamous $2,000 range that we've been looking at for a long time now. Now here's the deal. Let's transition now and talk about Congress and where they currently stand with any type of direct payments. Here's the deal. Congress has painted themselves into a very, very tight corner, and realistically, watching Congress right now, they're tap dancing around this entire topic, and realistically, it's just pretty much a finger pointing session where everybody's kind of saying, well, they did it, it's their fault. And my point is, in relation to all of the inflation and everything going on out there, they've painted themselves into a really tight corner. The reason that I say that is because one of the only ways that we can get out of this thing is ultimately to reduce inflation, but ultimately, okay, that solves one of the major issues that we're dealing with right now. But what about all the low-income and fixed-income Americans that have essentially dug a pretty big hole right now just because things have gone up so substantially and the income has not kept up with it? Therefore, a lot of people who are low income or fixed income are either borrowing money from friends and family. I've seen some people down in the comments section saying, I can't do it anymore, I had to take out a personal loan. That's not a good situation. We shouldn't have to take out personal loans just to cover our basic living necessities, things like this. So the problem is a lot of people are floating balances on credit cards, taking out a savings if there even had to be any, or if there was any savings. I've seen down in the comment section as well, some people here in the community have been selling things, furniture. I saw one person say, hey, I had to sell my car to get a few $100s so that I could live this month. That's not good. That is a sad situation. So there's a lot of different things out there going on right now. And ultimately, the low income and the fixed income are kind of in a position now that even if this inflation went down to zero and we weren't dealing with inflation anymore, the problem is now we've created this situation where a lot of low income and fixed income kind of are in a situation where we need to kind of repay back any of the loans that we have, or the borrowed money that we have, or maybe balances that we floated on credit cards, things like this, to get by over the last few months here. So Congress is into a type of a kind of a tight situation right now when it comes to what they want to do going forward. However, I do have to say this much. It is very encouraging to see what we've seen introduced here over the last week or so. I've talked about multiple different proposals coming out. I've talked about multiple different ideas that have been floated across Congress, even this idea that I just threw out there a minute ago, talking about the state of California. Again, I just found this a few hours ago earlier today. The state of California, again, introducing a $400 stimulus check. Here's the deal. We've seen multiple proposals. I think we've seen 5 or 6 different proposals just in the last 1 week alone, where Congress and individual states have been introducing these new ideas and packages, proposals for direct payments, stimulus checks, vouchers, all kinds of different things going forward. So, in my honest opinion, I do believe that Congress has painted themselves into such a tight corner right now that one of the only ways out of this is they may need to offer some type of direct payment. And honestly, with everything going on right now and the latest proposals and things that we've seen coming out of Congress, it seems that they're trying to kind of juggle a bunch of these different ideas around and figure out, okay, which of these ideas is going to stick? Is it a voucher program? Is it a quarterly check program? Is it a monthly voucher program? Is it just straight up an $1,100 check? Is it a $2,000 stimulus check? There's a lot of different ideas that are being floated out there right now, but realistically, Congress knows that they're kind of in a little bit of a situation, and there may only be one way out of this, especially as it pertains to struggling Americans and the low income / fixed income and all the beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Social Security, you know the whole list, right? So, anyway, we do have to continue waiting to see what Congress actually does here going forward. However, as I've mentioned, I do think it is very, very encouraging to see all of these proposals here, all the ideas, and the introductions of different direct checks, stimulus checks, things like this in Congress here over the last week or so. I would say that is very, very encouraging, because here's the deal. Like I just said a minute ago, in the last week, we've seen, I want to say 5 or 6 different proposals introduced. When was the last time that we saw any proposals like this talking about direct checks for the American people? I'm going to be honest with you. It's been about a year. It's been about a year since we've seen any substantial evidence coming out of any lawmakers or any substantial proposals coming out talking about direct checks, otherwise known as stimulus checks. The simple fact that we've seen all these proposals in the last week, I would say, is a huge win for us. Even though nothing, as of right now, has been approved yet, the point is they're playing around with these ideas. So, this is generally where things start. They start throwing around some ideas, trying to figure out what's going to stick here, what ideas are actually going to get any traction behind them. Is it a cash program? Is it a check program? Is it a voucher program? Is it a bill pay down program? In fact, last night I gave you another one of these programs. And I gave you that example out in New York, where they're talking about just paying down bills for people, for the 1.4 million people who are behind on electrical and gas bills. So again, there's a lot of different strategies that are being tossed around right now. Anyway, we do know this much. I want to keep you updated on a $2,000 check, because this is something that we've seen over 80 lawmakers actually showing their support in Congress. So, I want to throw this out there as well. We've known a year ago, I know it's been a long time now, but the point is, a year ago there were 56 members out of the House of Representatives, 56 representatives, as well as 21 senators and 6 members of the House Ways and Means Committee that all showed their support for a $2,000 stimulus check, recurring payments, and even adding stabilizers into the next stimulus bill. So we know that there's a bunch of different things going on right now, including all these proposals I've been talking about, as well as there's these members out of Congress, representatives, senators, people like this, that previously were in support of a $2,000 stimulus check. We also do know that we're kind of backing up here pretty quickly to the midterm elections, and we've got this whole major inflation issue going on right now. And what's interesting about it as well, many members of Congress, again, senators and representatives across the board, have all openly announced that they recognize the low income are really being pinched right now, and they are the ones experiencing the most pinch out of all of this right now. So it all comes kind of full circle, being that Congress may be looking at this situation saying, okay, we've got a bunch of inflation on our hands right now. The Fed just started raising rates as of yesterday. They're meeting. Okay, so now with all this being said, where do we sit with additional checks for the people, some type of relief for the people, cash payments to the people, and they may just be forced, as in they might not have any other way out of this situation other than to help out the low income and the fixed income with all of this inflation that they have essentially created. So they might be looking at it thinking, okay, we've got to do something for the low income, the fixed income. What can we do here? Well, let's focus on the lowest income and the fixed income. Let's get some cash into their pockets. And then ultimately, let's simultaneously figure out this inflation situation at the same time. The moral of the story is, with everything going on right now, I kind of see a little bit of a silver lining with everything out there. I know it's tough. I know it's been a very slow situation. I get it. The struggle is real. I read about it down in the comment section every single day. I mean, seriously, it's hitting everybody right now. The pinch is real for everybody. In fact, quick side note, my wife just went to the store the other day. Generally, I would say maybe once a week, we spend about $150 at the store, which generally, prior to the last few months here, it was usually about $100 every week. It's kind of expensive. My wife just came home from the store the other day, $237. And I was like, what did you even get? And honestly, there wasn't even much there. There was like 5 bags of just nothing. It's like, seriously, what did we even get here? The point is, everything is going up substantially. It seems like every time that she goes to the store, she comes back and it's an extra $30 or $40 every single week. It's like, it's literally just getting out of hand here. So this is a real struggle for everybody right now with everything going on. So anyway, I kind of think Congress is in the situation right now, considering everything that we've seen lately. They're starting to play around with some ideas, and I feel like this is very encouraging for the low income, the fixed income, and ultimately, we can only cross our fingers that hopefully they'll come together and issue some type of direct payment, which it seems that way, considering what we've seen recently, and hopefully we will have them, hopefully they will come out and actually introduce something big to go off the start, rather than $200 here and there. I mean, honestly, $200 would be great, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything for the vast majority of people who are struggling so badly right now. What they really need is to go big or go home, right? They need to give something big, $2,000, something there along those lines, to help out all these people. And ultimately, they need to have the option, too, of coming back at some point in the near future if it's not enough, and do it once again. So it's kind of interesting because I also saw reports here as well just earlier saying COVID. Remember that word? Yeah, COVID apparently is coming back with a vengeance right now, and apparently is spreading pretty rapidly. So we've got a number of different situations on our hands, and not really sure if Congress has the capacity to get this figured out. Considering what they've been doing lately, it seems like they may not really know what to do here, but we ultimately know the solution, and they've done it a few times before. Either way, I'll continue to keep you posted with everything going on. I would say with everything going on out there right now, even though it's a tough situation, I would say there may be a silver lining considering the rhetoric coming out of Congress as of recently. Either way, I'll keep you posted with all these latest details. There's a lot going on out there, but no matter what happens, my dedication is to be here right by your side every single day. I truly want to help you out in any way that I can, keep you updated with everything going on, and to help you navigate this very difficult time. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot going on out there, and a lot of times I look at everything thinking, what is really going on? You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes me a while to kind of straighten everything out and kind of distill it all down into these videos just so that we can all be on the same page with everything going on.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube. Have a good one.